Hello and thank you for tuning in to Millennium Movies. So we have an article here from Deadline and they're reporting that we have the production beginning on the Strangers Remake Trilogy. We have a director attached, we have our cast attached as well for the first film, and we have some details as well in the story. So let's go ahead and hop right into all of that immediately. So, The Strangers was a 2008 film that was written and directed by Brian Bertino, who wrote an incredible script that's really a great showcase for suspense and tension done right. I mean, that movie was executed, I think, to perfection in terms of what they were trying to accomplish. Now, there was also a movie that released, I believe, around a decade later, in 2018, which was the Strangers Pray at Night film, which was not directed by Brian Bertino or written by him. And that movie, I thought, was kind of just okay. I mean, it had a really good sequence involving a pool, but aside from that, that movie's kind of, nothing to write home about. It's just okay. But now we're learning that we're moving away from the events of those movies, and this new trilogy is going to be a completely different take on the original characters of the Strangers, who are the the sort of cult family of people who are going around terrorizing young couples and young families out in the middle of nowhere. So who is the new director and who are the new cast members for this next trilogy? Well, we know that Rennie Harlin is going to be directing the first film, and he's also going to be directing the entire trilogy. So there's that. And as for the cast on the first movie, we know that Madelaine Petsch, who you probably know from playing Cheryl Blossom in Riverdale, is going to star in this movie, as well as Froy Gutierrez, who is well known for his role in MTV's Teen Wolf series. So let's go ahead and break down the actual storyline that we know that we're going to be having in this first movie of three. So the new Strangers film will follow Pesch's character as she drives cross-country with her longtime boyfriend, played by Gutierrez, to begin a new life in the Pacific Northwest. When their car breaks down in Venice, Oregon, they're forced to spend the night in a secluded Airbnb where they're terrorized from dusk till dawn by three masked strangers. So Lionsgate plans from there to keep expanding the story in new and unexpected ways with the next two sequels following this first movie. So I gotta say, it sounds like Lionsgate really has a lot of faith in the people behind the camera here, the writers and the director, to have already greenlit an entire trilogy without having even seen the first movie yet. So that tells you that Lionsgate believes in this director, and they believe in this story that he wants to tell. So I gotta say, with Ty West recently having his own trilogy of the X movies, right, with X and Pearl, and of course he's got another movie coming out that just got announced at TIFF. So it seems that the slasher genre is sort of starting to make a comeback, and this is exciting as a horror fan. But I gotta say, for this movie in particular, what excites me is that Lionsgate seems to have so much faith behind this movie that they're willing to greenlit 3 feature-length films. That's a big commitment on Lionsgate's part. But the thing that worries me, I guess, so far is just, the unknown of what we can sort of expect from this. I mean, we have the vague story details that I already went over, but in terms of, where this is gonna take the franchise from, a movie that started it back in 2008, the original Strangers was such a well done film. It was such a well crafted film for what it set out to do. And it's become a cult classic. People who are fans of that movie are really attached to the original, and I know that the fan base on that was kind of split on the sequel that released in 2018, Pray at Night. So they're gonna kind of maybe be climbing an uphill battle here with trying to get the original fans to be on board with a remake trilogy. So we'll have to wait and see where this story goes, but for right now, at least you can color me intrigued as to where this new trilogy is going to be taking the franchise. But if you want to stay up to date on all the latest in the world of movie and TV news, well, you're in the right place, and I hope you can consider subscribing to the channel, because I would love to have you along for the ride. But until next time, this has been Millennium Movies. I will see you all very soon.